Have you guys ever wondered why the saying that nice guys always finish last, and always ever wondered if it was true or not? Well, this quote by Walker says, "It is not true that nice guys finish last. Nice guys are winners before the game ever starts." So today, I'm going to talk to you about why that quote is true. So I'm going to give you two examples. One example is going to be my dad, and another example is going to be Bill Gates. So first example, Bill Gates. He said a quote one time. He said, "Be nice to the nerds, because one day you'll be working for them." And what I take from that is that he's basically he's saying that the nerds are the nice guys, and because they're nice, they're not going to finish last. They're going to be your boss, and you're going to work for them, and they're going to be successful. So that's one example. And my second example is my dad. My dad, he's always been a nice guy. He's never been into confrontation. He's never disrespected anybody. He's never badmouthed anybody in his life. And even if the other person would disrespect him, he'd never say anything. He'd never confront them with aggression or anything. And he started off working in an oil factory, and he moved his way later on throughout the years. He moved his way up, and now he's his own boss, and he owns a truck company now. And so I believe that this quote is actually it's actually true, that nice guys they don't finish last. They win the race before it even starts. And so that's. Thank you.
Okay, well, you've got the rhetorical question about the old saying, and then you transition to this other saying, and I thought that worked pretty well. You express your point of view, you agree with what's being said there, and you set up a couple of secondary points, so there's a preview. So the structural stuff, I think, is all pretty solid. You know, it's the thing that maybe detracts a little bit from the introduction is the presentation. And you've got a couple of things immediately that are noticeable. You got nervous feet at the beginning of the speech. You need to kind of, maybe that should be the first thing that you do, is decide, here's where I'm going to stand, and I'm going to stand here until I have a reason to move, because you are stepping back and forth, stepping forward and backwards. You just never get into a position where you look comfortable. So if you're going to be uncomfortable in a position that looks confident.
Yeah.
All right? And I think that would help if you do that from the beginning. It would give you can fake confidence when you sometimes get to those sorts of things as well. The supporting material for the examples is okay. It's a little thin. The Bill Gates example is, I think, a reasonable point to make, but you could perhaps give us an illustration, tell us a story, show some situation where that's true. You just kind of take the conclusion as a given. The example with your father, because it's personal, you have a little bit more detail to provide. It would be nice if you could think of it, a situation, for example, where your father might have been justified in going off on somebody, but refrained, and it had a good consequence to it. The success, I think, the general success is a reasonable illustration of the point that you're making. So it's not that there's anything wrong with the example, it's just that you want to have something more to talk about. That's where details help. The other presentation issues that I think you've got, you have an audience contact thing. Your face is up, but you're not always looking at us. I think you're kind of looking in the direction of the audience occasionally, but not engaging the audience. And that's just one of those things that takes a little bit of time. We've got 20 people sitting out here. You should look at everybody at some point during the presentation. And I don't really get the feeling that you even know how many people are out there. It's just that I'm in front of people, I'm looking up and looking around, so I'm trying to do, I can tell you're trying to do what you're supposed to do, but it's not quite connecting. And so that's just, it takes practice, and you got to force yourself to make that extra step. All right, thank you.